Hello there. This video is about the AnyCubic Predator. Now this machine, a friend of mine gave it to me, Tim Dickenson. Thanks Tim. This is another machine that he sends over to me, and it had its issues. Long story short, this video is only about leveling this machine. So right now I already leveled this, and that's the bullseye that it prints. It's a file that comes with the Predator initially on the SD card, and it prints very well. Now I will tell you this: all this stringing here, that is really not fault of the machine. It's the way the G code was set up. I would have adjusted retractions, things like that, but giving this is the G code that I got, that's the one I'm using. Yes, it comes with the STL file. I can cut that also. But let's say this, I'm a little bit lazy when it comes to that, so I just want to get this aligned and then print. This is the original hot end. If you have an opportunity to swap it out, swap it out. This has to be one of the worst hot ends out there. Based on the Crealities that I've owned, based also on the Prusa that I have, this hot end is far from good. I mean, it's literally, I would say this is one of the cheapest things. A good machine, sturdy, but cheap hot end. So also these here, they get loose. If you could get them with magnetic balls, do that as well. Change the effector. Pretty much change the whole thing. Alright, but again, this is about leveling. This is not about the machine itself. So I will start, and I'll pause this. I'm going to remove the bullseye that I printed, and I'm going to show you how I level this AnyCubic Predator. Alright, back here. So one of the first things we need to know is the screen, how to navigate. I will make mistakes. I make them every time. So I'm going to start with tools. See what it gives me. Tools. More. I'm on the right spot. Now we level. Now it says probe and Z offset. If you read your manual, unlike me, I read it afterwards. If you read the manual, your first step is going to be probe. You want to bring this all the way down to 0. Once it's on 0, then eventually you do the Z offset. But right now, let's go with the probe, and we're going to bring that all the way down to where it barely touches. I'm going to press probe, and we're going to bring this to Z equals 0, and it homed, so that's all the way up there. And I'm just going to click this 45 times. Right, 45 approximately. It's very, very low if you notice. Okay, so now I still have way to go. I will need paper, so I'm going to grab paper that I've been recycling this every time. It's a bit old. But hey, I'm old and I'm still functional, I think. Alright, there's the paper. Now, if I do 10 more, it's going to hit the bed. If during the process you feel it hit the bed completely, you have to go and redo this again. That would mean you need to hit home and bring it down again. Why? Because you're telling the system this is my Z equals 0, but it actually went down below that. So even though it doesn't move more beyond the bed, inside it will register, hey, I just went 10 more millimeters down. So you switch here, right? Switch to 1. I'm going to do, let's go 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to see if the paper is still, it's still good. See how close it is? Now I'm going here, I'm going to take some more time. I'm going to jog it now. 0.1. So I'm going to do this in 2. 1, 2. Now I'm going to move the paper. So what I'll do is, for my sanity, I'm just going to put the paper here. I'm going to move it. Right, because I need 2 hands for this. So we're moving here. Now I'm going to bring it down one at a time. 1, still moves. Another one, still moves. Okay, I can feel it starting to drag a bit, but still moves. Alright, there it is. Okay, there it is. So it grabbed onto the paper. So even if I do say this is 0, it's really not 0 because the width of the paper is there. So, what's the next step? Well, I'm going to call this 0 so far. I'm going to click here. It says after out of home, please install the level sensor manually, then click OK to start probing. So what we're going to do is we're going to start probing this. If this would have been the real 0, I'll take the paper out. If this would have been the real 0, then I really don't have to do anything. But seeing that it has a little bit of a lift, I have to bring it down a bit. I'm going to pause this, get my probe, install it, and continue. Right, so there's the probe. Make sure it's installed, it's snug. Right. Comes up here, make sure you connect it correctly. That means it only goes one way. Make sure it's connected. And now it's going to probe the bed. I'm going to press OK. The homes is going down. And he's going to check each one. Something I didn't do on this machine, the temperature, I didn't do a preheat on PLA. I should have done that. So if you do this, if you see the video first, preheat everything to PLA, to your PLA standard, and then do all of this. That way at least you have the level with everything expanded, metal heated up, glass plate. Yes, I have blue tape on there. It doesn't adhere well to the base anymore. I have to contact AnyCubic to see what they can tell me. So there it is. Now if you come across an issue where it probes and it does like that and keeps on probing fast, that's not correct. Don't think it's actually probing correctly. It means that the stepper motors, the gear that's in here, stepper motor and the gear that drives the belt up and down, on one of those three, if not all of them, is actually loose. So it's going to slip and your print is going to go really bad. So there it is probing, almost done. Alright. Once it probes, now it's going to tell me to print something. And that would be the print that you saw at the very beginning. So it takes like 44 minutes. So just look back at the initial one. That's how it ended up after I did some quick adjustment. Let me pause this and do what it says. Oh, it says here, done. Now remove the level sensor, then choose level test G code to test. So press OK. I'm going to take that. Before doing that, let me remove this. So let me move the cable up here. Move the sensor down here. Sensor removed. I'll store that soon. Then I'm just going to get out of this for a moment. C320, I didn't actually heat this up. So I'll just go print. Say print that. It's going to start heating up, so I'm going to just do one of my little tricks here. Temperature. I'm going to bring this up to 200. No, actually 195. 195? No, 185. That's the temperature for this PLA that I'm using. It's not the best. Again, the hot end doesn't help. And this temperature here, I'm going to drop it all the way down to 37. Say OK. Then, excuse me. Not wrong one. Temperature. I'm going to bring this up again to 40, not to 50. I could print at 50 on this one. And then instead of 200, remember I placed 180, 185? Because I reached the bed temperature, it went to the extruder and jumped it up to 200. So I'm just, that's a G code. So right now I just want 185 and the bed to 50 degrees. So that's going to start in a moment. I'll just pause. When it starts, then I just do my Z offset. Okay? I'll pause here for a moment and wait. Alright, so it's starting to home. See all the way up. once it homes, it's going to start printing. 183, when I went 185, it's still going up. It did go to 186, dropped down to 182. Now, go back here, prepare, back here. I think it's tools, more. Remember the level? Now, since we are going to print, we have the Z offset in blue. So I'm just going to press the Z offset. And you could actually bring it down at an increment of 0.04 if I recall correctly. And once you're done, you click OK. So again, excuse me. Here, I'm sorry, tools, more, level, Z offset, and then before actually doing anything, I have to check out how this is going. And what you want is that look that you don't see two lines. You see, that's number one. Let me get away from this print part here. If both line looks like one, let's see. There you go. It actually looks very nice the way it is, so I'm going to leave it as is. But if I wanted to adjust, let's see how this other line turns out. Alright, so that's the first one. We'll see how the second one comes next to it. If you see two beads, then bring it down lower. If you see it too thin and squished together, then you raise it. So you can really see the two lines one after the other. Okay? So I'm going to leave it there. It's perfect as is, paper width, and excuse me, it should be fine. Let me fix this here. I actually noticed this on the video while I'm taking it. I didn't notice it before. Alright, so that's it. If you have questions, feel free to let me know. Send a comment or send me an email or message me. Either way, I hope to read all that information there. If it's helpful for you, perfect. I don't do the likes. If you like it, perfect. If you don't like it, that's fine. Don't hurt my feelings saying you didn't like it. You don't make my day if you say you did like it. Either way, you make my day if you say I used it, it worked, and I'm happy with my prints now. That would make my day. If you're happy, I'm happy. Okay? If you're not happy, then let me know and I'll try to help make you feel happier with the instructions, not with money. I'm broke. Alright? Enjoy. It takes 44 minutes and you saw the results at the beginning. Again, the stringing is part of the G code that came with little to no retraction perhaps. And I could redo that again, but you guys will have fun. Alright, again, Predator, AnyCubic. Can't find them anymore. Enjoy. And to Tim, thanks bro. Appreciate the machine as always. Alright, signing off.